Everyone, welcome to Reddit Readout. Today we are checking out True Off My Chest. Story 1. If you are a UI designer and make the clickable element of a button much larger than the button itself, I hope you suffer in life. It's all in the title. That's it. Off my chest. I hope you see this and feel bad about yourself, whoever you are making all this terrible software. Go step on a Lego. Story 2. Partner snoring has destroyed my mental health. We have only been together 4 years. He refuses for us to sleep separately. He's been for a sleep study. He doesn't have sleep apnea. He's not overweight. He's tried steroids, medication, and nasal sprays. Nothing works. He doesn't let me touch him or move him when he sleeps, and if I do, he screams at me. I haven't slept properly in 4 years. Recently he went on holiday for 5 days and they were the most mentally sane I've felt in 4 years. It was the best 5 days of my whole life. I actually woke up happy. I can't believe I will spend the rest of my life in misery and exhaustion. I know it's easy for people to give me different sleeping options, but people don't understand how or why they're not available to me. Please believe me, if I could sleep elsewhere then I would. I've had anxiety and depression for 7 years, but it's gotten a lot worse without sleep. I'm also constantly nauseous at work because my eyes are fighting to stay awake. I'm so sad. I'm so sad that it doesn't matter to him too. I'm so sad that it's okay for him to wake me up every single hour of the night, but if I nudged him whilst going to the toilet I would be screamed at. I'm so sad that only his sleep matters. Story 3. 27M, just heard my cousin, 10M, say to our younger cousin, 5M. Be nice to old people, they're gonna die soon. P.S. They were talking about our 84-year-old grandma. Story 4. I hate working with my intellectually disabled coworker. I am a baker at a busy place and one of my coworkers is intellectually disabled. This girl cannot keep up with anything. I have had to start batches over because she doesn't do things when they are supposed to get done. I ask her to do something that should take a maximum and 30 minutes later it's not done and too late to do it now because the pastries are too cold. She seems to just meander from task to task doing jack all when there are a million things to get done that are part of her job. I am constantly picking up slack when she is working with me, essentially doing the job of 1.5 people. Because of this, there have been numerous instances where a batch has had to get thrown out because it was in the proof for too long because I was busy doing her job. She is just so slow. Yesterday someone ordered donut holes but I hadn't done them yet, so I quickly threw them in the fryer, glazed them, and asked her to bag them up while I finished the rest of the customer's order. When I looked at her she was still bagging the donut holes, putting them in the bag one at a time. I'm at my wit's end. Just now I had to throw out a bunch of donuts because she didn't toss them in a cinnamon and sugar mix while they were warm, a very quick and easy task, and when I asked her to toss the new batch I watched her struggle to put on the plastic gloves, take a few seconds to stare at the plastic glove she dropped on the floor, watched her slowly walk the glove over to the trash can, miss the trash can, stare at the glove for a couple seconds again, finally pick it up and put it in the trash, slowly. Walk over to the donuts, pick 2 up and rub them together, and then drop them in the cinnamon and sugar mix one at a time. It's gotten to the point where as soon as I'm open the door to let her into the shop I get mad as soon as I see her face. I feel like a horrible person, but she's driving me nuts so I kind of don't care if it makes me ableist at this point. I don't want her to get fired because that may be discrimination, but she can't handle the tasks at this place. I've given her pointers multiple times on how to be more efficient, but to no prevail. Story 5. I don't want kids but I'm sad about the reasons why I don't want them. I have swore my whole life that I never want kids. And that is still the case, but I hate the reasons that stop me from ever considering them. Here are the major 4 reasons why I don't want them. I'm not mentally stable enough. I have had depression my whole life, and I don't think I'll be patient enough to care about kids or their problems. I'm scared of seeing my body change and not be able to do anything about it. I've had body dysmorphia, and had ed, so losing control over how my body looks would drive me crazy. At worst, I'm scared that I'll lose my sanity and end up stabbing my stomach. For the last 25 years I have lived for my parents. I was always under their control and never enjoyed my freedom as an adult. I can't imagine dedicating the rest of my life to someone else again after fighting for my freedom. I don't want to lose my identity and just be known as mom. I have noticed that the relationship between couples changes once kids come into the picture. The attention is now only on children and the love between the parents thins out. I'm afraid that the father will abuse me, cheat on me, and I'll have to stay for the kids or be a single mom. This really sucks. I'm dating someone right now and for the first time ever the thought of giving him a kid was on my mind. But I diminished those thoughts right then and there because, I can't. I just can't. And I hate it so much. Story 6. I see him in you. I feel disgusted. My mom introduced me to someone today, and that was one of the first things out of his mouth. At first I was confused, I didn't know who he was talking about, and then he said the name of my worst abuser, aka my biological father. He went on to say nothing but nice things about that monster, and it's easy to see he didn't mean anything bad by what he said. It was meant to be a compliment, like when people tell me I look just like my mom. I thanked him, I think, and I walked away. And I have just been stewing in this disgust for hours. I feel gross. I don't want to look at my own face in the mirror. Story 7. I am not bothered by what people think or say about my way of living. I disagree with a lot of things that common people say in their day-to-day lives. Especially, I feel like the people around me are too quick to judge me or anyone else. I have never understood how some people can be so miserable in their lives and, at the same time, be very interested in preaching to you. There have been instances in my life when people would casually tell me, common sense isn't common practice, and immediately I would feel that they are the perfect example of what they just said. Another idea I don't subscribe to is jack of all trades, master of none. I do not agree when people say you cannot multitask and still be good at it. It does take dedication and commitment but not impossible. I have never understood how people who say I don't judge others are the first ones to really judge, and the ones who say I don't care are the ones who invest all their thoughts. It is concerning to see people work their asses off but not know what they are really doing in life, even if they had a purpose. Most times it felt like a cover-up for their ignorance. What's funny is that the people who really don't know much about themselves are the ones who are keen on advising and judging you. Finally, this quote is something that came to my mind, from Sadhguru: your ideas of good and bad are just a certain level of prejudice against life. Story 8. I realize I'm better off just not looking for women to date. Realized attempting to use dating apps and going out of my way to meet new women was just ruining my self-esteem and wasting my time. I'm not sure exactly what it is about the dating market or meeting people in your 20s that's just genuinely so rough, but it took me a while to realize it just isn't for me. I've had a lot of fun getting back into all of my creative hobbies and just going out and seeing friends again without the self-esteem clouding that online apps were giving me. Yet I realize I can't find people I'd like to date, but so what? Better I come to terms with that now than be depressed over self-esteem issues. Story 9. My brother started to send me some TikTok videos about Earth being flat. I can't deal with this. I'm freaking worried that the app's algorithm will take him deeper into it and he will be some conspiracy crazy dude. Story 10. Caught my father messing around with my 7-year-old daughter. I caught my father messing around with my 7-year-old daughter. It was in my house, so I had to kick my father out of the house. It was really hard to explain it to my mother. She's a good woman and family is the most important thing in her life. I keep on seeing it in my head. Going crazy. I have a mental illness, I have bipolar. I've been dealing with it for years, quite successfully all things considered. I have a supportive family. Now I feel as if I lost everything. Because of my condition, I struggle to get by financially and my parents helped us quite a bit. Now I'm also broke. Soon I won't have money to pay for my therapist. Story 11. My little brother went to extreme lengths to SA me. When I was 20 and my little brother was 13, he went to extreme lengths to SA me. It started with he took a razor blade while I was at college and cut multiple butts out of pairs of jeans. He would expose his butt and masturbate in places where he knew I'd accidentally see, like at the bottom of the stairs leading to downstairs. He took multiple items and chiseled holes into the bathroom wall, not once but twice attempting to see me use the bathroom. My parents patched the holes and he remade them. He would accidentally touch me at family events. I worked night shift and accidentally fell asleep on our living room couch. He came into the room and ran his hand up my vagina. It immediately woke me up and I told my mom. I moved out 2 weeks later. I have a relationship with my mom and she continues to talk about how good my brother is doing and wants to talk about him with me. I have told her multiple times I do not forgive him for what he's done and don't wish to talk about him with her. I get he could have done way worse, but I still feel as if I was sexually assaulted and he's walking away with no consequences and it makes me sick. I'm disgusted to be in the same room as him and it's hard to visit my parents with him being there. I feel my mom isn't respecting my boundaries and my family is taking all this lightly. How do I deal with this? I am now 23. Story 12. My wife of 2 years is cheating on me. Today I, M27, found out my wife, F25, is cheating on me. As with all cheaters, she messed up. She left her second phone home when she left for work. I'm numb because I heard her phone go off and I assumed she had just left it and we were supposed to meet up for lunch later, but when I picked up her phone I saw a number I didn't recognize and the text on there said it all. It read, "I can't wait to see you tonight." Yeah, I know that maybe that's just a friend and this could just be a work phone, but my gut tells me otherwise. I've been thinking about it and she has been acting weird. She's been working long hours, she's been on 2 girls' trips this month, and she's been randomly called into work on her days off. I don't know what to do. Her second phone has a lock on it, otherwise I'd open it and read the other texts. What do I do? Update, thank you for all the... Story 13. X sent me the engagement ring he was going to propose to me with. Now I feel awful for leaving. About 2 months ago I left my emotionally distant boyfriend of 3 years. Liam, M40, is quite a bit older than me, F27, he's also divorced with 4 kids from his previous marriage. The relationship was wrought with problems. I wasn't happy and I communicated that very clearly, so I decided to put my happiness first as he had been being moody and distant for months. I broke up with him when he refused to apologize for not being there for me when I needed him due to a medical emergency. I moved on after I met an amazing man, Chris, M24, who actually makes me feel like I'm worth something. We have been together for just over a month, but we get on so well and like each other so much we are already talking about moving in together when my lease expires in 3 months. He's a good person and I can see a future with him. Today my ex messaged me today saying he had dropped off some more of my stuff at my parents' house. I replied that that was fine and thanked him. He replied that he would send me my birthday present in the mail. I was surprised as I didn't think he had gotten me one with the way he had been acting. I asked what it was, he wouldn't tell me. I got frustrated and asked him to just tell me already. He sent me an invoice for a diamond engagement ring. I felt like I had been punched in the stomach. He was going to propose to me on my birthday. I cried. I felt horrible all over again. I felt like I was going to be sick. I didn't want to see it. I told him I was sorry but I couldn't take the ring and he had my permission to resell/refund it. Chris assured me that with everything he had heard about Liam, he's sure I fudged a massive bullet. I'm not asking for advice, just venting because this has ruined my whole night and thrown me through several loops. Definitely one of the worst things that could have happened in the situation. That is all. TLDR, emotionally neglectful ex sent me the ring he was going to propose to me with after we broke up and I moved on. That's all for today. Please don't forget to like and subscribe.